What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to stay up to date with Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video, because whenever there's Ravens news and such, I will try and upload a video as soon as possible. However, there's no Ravens news today, or none that I've seen from Twitter or anything like that. So what I wanted to talk about was something that a lot of people started to say in the post-game stream, which shout out to everybody that came to the post-game stream for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you didn't know, Joshua and I live stream before and after every single Ravens game. We have a ton of fun, and we're going to try and look at finding another day in the week to possibly also do like live streams, do some more live with the viewers and things like that, because we have a ton of fun doing it. But what I want to talk about in today's video was Alejandro Villanueva, because I say it like that. It's technically how he says is Villanueva, but people got mad at me when I say Villanueva. So I'll say Villanueva. And I want to talk about him because he's a very interesting situation. I've seen a lot of different takes. I want to go through that, but I want to know what you guys think as well, in addition to what I think, because there are a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of different things that the Ravens could do. And the first one that I'm going to start off with is I think it's by far the most ridiculous. I don't think it'll happen whatsoever. But I've been seeing the take surface a fair amount. I think about 4 or 5 different people have either commented or put it into the live stream chats. And I've seen people say stuff on Twitter, and I'm like, what? And that would be to keep Villanueva at left tackle. And when Ronnie Stanley gets healthy, put Ronnie at right tackle. I'm kind of shocked by that, and ironically, right when I'm pausing, the camera turns off. I apologize. I don't know why that's happening. Hopefully it doesn't go off again, but I do apologize. But man, Ronnie Stanley playing right tackle. I mean, the Ravens got rid of Orlando Brown Jr. because Ronnie Stanley is the left tackle. And while yes, Alejandro played a very good game, he was the highest graded player on the Ravens offense against the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe he scored an 88 or an 89 on PFF. Take PFF grades with a grain of salt. It's not an actual stat. It's a judging, it's very biased and things like that. So don't think like, oh yeah, it's 100% he was the best. That's just PFF for you. But he played well. He did a very solid job on Chris Jones and everybody else that was lining across from him, and he played well. Much better than he did in week 1, playing at the right tackle spot, going up against Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue. And so people have said, like, oh, he's just way better on the left side. Ronnie can just make that transition over to right, and it'll work out great. That's not going to happen. One, Ronnie's paid as a left tackle. He's going to play left tackle, and he is and you always want the left tackle because, if you've ever seen, we're Ravens fans. So, Michael Orr, the blind side right there, you got to protect your quarterback, and the blind side's the part where the quarterback can't see. So put your best left tackle at the left tackle spot. The best left tackle is by far Ronnie Stanley. And I think a lot of people are, I don't want to say overreacting, because Alejandro Villanueva did play well, but I think they overreacted to the Raiders game, because I think people undervalued how good their edge rush was and the guys that they have out there with Yannick and Max Crosby, who played a heck of a game. And so when they really tore up the Ravens, tackles, everybody was like, oh, Villanueva is so bad and all that. Villanueva has similar problems that Orlando Brown Jr. had. And I talked about that, at his size, like when you're like 6'8", 340 pounds or whatever he is, it's very difficult for you to move. So when he goes up against those faster guys that try and use quick movements and things like that to get past, he's going to struggle. And that's how Max Crosby, that's how Yannick Ngakoue play. They try and use those finesse moves. So he was struggling because they were getting around him very easily because he's just a big guy and it's tough to move him. But when he goes up against the Chiefs and they throw Chris Jones, a former defensive tackle that's transitioning into an edge player, Chris Jones is trying to go right through you. Very difficult to do that against Alejandro Villanueva. So the matchup was so much better for him. And so while it looked like, oh yeah, this time he's going up against maybe a better football player in Chris Jones, but I think he's definitely a better football player than Yannick and Max Crosby, but he's playing out of position. In my opinion, I don't think he should be playing on the edge. He really should be playing defensive tackle. I don't understand why they made that change. But that's just why it was able to work. And so I'm not worried about Alejandro Villanueva on the right side. I mean, that was his first game on the right side of the line. He needs to get used to it. I'm not saying he's going to be spectacular. He's going to be meh. If we go up against a very elite pass rusher, they will probably take advantage of him. But very elite pass rushers take advantage of almost every tackle in the NFL unless you have a true star tackle. And the Ravens do have a star tackle in Ronnie Stanley. Hopefully he's able to get healthy. Hopefully the Ravens are able to come out with more details on that injury because he was not close to playing according to Harbaugh last week. I'm kind of doubting that he'll be able to play this week. Really hoping the next week against the Denver Broncos he'd be able to play, but we'll really have to see with that one. It'll be very interesting. But that's kind of the first idea that I just want to kind of get out. We're not putting Ronnie on the right side and keeping Villanueva at the left side. That's not happening. But there are other options that we can look at because there was another guy at the right tackle spot that actually played very well, and that was Patrick McCarry. And so the Ravens, what are the chances that they put Patrick McCarry at right tackle and bench Villanueva? It would be very interesting. Now, I don't think the Ravens should do it, but I think they could because it was his first game in the NFL playing at right tackle. And we'll see. I expect Ronnie to be out. We'll see him playing against the Detroit Lions, I'm assuming, probably at that right tackle spot again. So we'll be able to see if he's able to continue that play. But overall, he played very well. So what are the odds that he's able to do that on the right side? And the Ravens go, Ronnie on the left, McCarry on the right. That could be a possibility. And then other things that I've heard is put Villanueva on the interior of the offensive line and put him in that left guard spot because the Ravens have been lacking quality play at the left guard spot from Ben Powers. Obviously, Ben Cleveland got a little bit of opportunity, played well, but Ben Powers also played well this last game. So, don't want to take anything away, but a lot of people are saying like Villanueva should be playing in that left guard spot. And that's a very difficult transition as well. In my opinion, we need to let Alejandro Villanueva play the spot that he was brought here to play. Play him at right tackle. Now, until Ronnie comes back, play him at left tackle. That makes the most sense. He's got experience at left tackle, but you can't, unfortunately, the offensive lineman situation, it's almost impossible to acquire an offensive lineman in mid-season that's good because every team wants good offensive linemen. And if you're tanking, or if you're just bad, you're not going to trade him because you still need to protect your quarterback because there's bad teams that tank. For example, the New York Jets. The New York Jets, not very good, but they're not going to trade away their tackles because they need to protect Zach Wilson. They need to protect their quarterback. Trading away your offensive tackles is so rare that teams do it. I always thought it was ridiculous when Houston did it. When they traded for Miami's offensive tackle and, traded away all those picks. Like, just trading away offensive tackles doesn't happen. It's very rare and it's very difficult. So the Ravens are going to have to figure out a system with the guys that they have, unless they bring in, a free agent or something like that. And I know they've brought people into the practice squad and such to see if they could do it. But I think right now they need to just keep playing Villanueva at the left tackle spot until Ronnie comes back and put him at right tackle. And if he really struggles against poor edge rushers, because remember, it has to be matchup wise, I expect him to struggle against faster guys. And I said this when he got drafted. Faster guys will be a difficult matchup, but maybe it becomes a situation where they look at Patrick McCarry and maybe he plays well against the guys that are faster and maybe they switch him out. I don't really know, but overall, the biggest thing that they should do is don't overreact. Don't overreact, Ravens fans, to Villanueva playing well for one game on the left side against a very good matchup against Chris Jones, because that's the matchup that he should thrive in. And even though he played well, doesn't mean he should take Ronnie's spot, which I've seen way too much. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about him, what you guys thought about the game. Any questions or anything like that you want me to talk about in future videos, let me know down below. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.